following is a presentation of Flow Sports.
Rock this morning and ready to respond. We welcome you back here to the Mary Nutter Cathedral City Collegiate Classic. Oklahoma taking on Cal just 30 minutes after the unthinkable happened. Long Beach State pulled off the upset. Here's how that last one slipped away.
It was ultimately the Big Bats in the belief of the Beach. Their third ever win against Oklahoma in program history, and the first time to do so since 2020, and the celebration erupted. Anything is possible here at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, but if you're the Sooners, it is time to bounce back, and you know Coach Gasso is going to get her team's mind right, and in that competitive spirit to fight back in a big way.
Just the second loss of the season for Oklahoma. This is the lineup they toy out after the loss earlier this morning.
And this is a group that is leading the nation right now and the tournament in long balls. They have 8 so far here this weekend, and they're going to look to get the bats going quickly as they were quieted to only 2 runs earlier today. It took 3 different arms from the Beach, and it's just going to be about them finding their comfort and their big swings here.
Well, Tamia Waters has quite the task in front of her. You know, anytime you pitch against this Oklahoma team, it is already a tall task to ask of your pitcher in the circle. But Waiters, I should say, she will now face this Oklahoma team who will play with a chip on their shoulder. You know, this team coming off the loss, they will face Waiters and this Cal defense that will have to shut down some of the best bats that this country has to offer. Take a look at the defensive lineup here.
I think the biggest thing you saw from Long Beach State being able to be successful is making every out that they could on the field, and that's what Cal's going to have to continue to do. The Sooners do not strike out a lot, one of the lowest rates in the country. They're going to put the ball in play hard, and it's going to be key for this defense to have Waiters back.
Waiters in the circle. We are just about ready to go for first pitch between number 4 Oklahoma and Cal. Oklahoma.
What an opportunity here for the junior in the circle. 9.1 innings of work so far on the season. 7 earned runs she's given up.
And the junior at the plate.
Given up.
Pickering takes strike 1.
As you're saying, a junior matchup, but I think ultimately what allowed Waiters to get this start is the fact that she's only given up 1 home run on the season. And you want a pitcher who's going to keep the ball low in the zone, who doesn't allow hitters to elevate it, and that's why she ultimately got the start today against the best home run hitting team in the nation.
Waiters comes over from Houston, played there 2 years ago, as this is on the ground and foul. Began her career at UT Arlington. And quite the career before moving on to this ACC team.
In 2024 at Houston, where she went 4-4 record. 2025 did not compete. But now she has found a home here at Cal.
And Pickering
so have.
Now here's the pitch to Pickering. It's inside for ball 3. Go ahead, Sid.
And a lot of people have found their home here at Cal. It's kind of a new program, I should say, in a way, under Steve Singleton, who is entering his new era. And for his coaching staff, they had to get kind of the players ready to go with the turnover. He didn't get this job till really later on, so a lot of players were added to his roster that they've just spent the last few months finding how do they mesh together and how can they rewrite the narrative and kind of build the new foundation of what Cal softball standard is going to be.
As Pickering pokes this through the left side. You know, the standard for Cal softball, it's about building a legacy, and I think that this is the perfect face for what this program should be moving forward.
The Coach Singleton, he refers to it as the gold standard, with each letter in gold meaning something different. And that's been and how they practice and how they carry the equipment to the field. And that's a man who understands that the little things show up big on the softball field. He was a part of the 2025 National Championship game at Texas as an assistant coach, and now here trying to bring some of that magic to Cal.
That's just away. Here's Ella Parker at the plate. We've seen her in the 3 spot of the order all week long. Now she flops with Kendall Wells, who's in the on-deck circle as ball 2 missed low.
And I like the fact that Coach Gasso, after last game, kind of just reflected, shifted around her lineup a little bit, that has so many talented hitters coming in and off the bench. And it's not a matter of who's a better hitter than one another, but what's a way right now without everyone swinging your bat that you can produce more RBIs, and that's what she's trying to set her team up to do so.
Coach Patty Gasso, the 32nd year head coach for Oklahoma. They had quite the discussion at right field after that last game that culminated, I would say, about 45 minutes ago. City, what do you think was said back then?
How are we going to bounce back? And Coach Gasso has been a part of a lot of championship teams here at Oklahoma.
Good bounce back so far. First to third goes Pickering on the single for Ella Parker.
Coach Gasso and her group understand it's all about how you respond. Get the bats going as Parker sends that pitch elevated up in the zone, deep into outfield. And she's the first to say winning and losing doesn't define us. It just makes us stronger. And when you're able to utilize those losses early on in the season as a learning lesson, those are the teams who then become smarter and more of a threat in postseason.
Well, you know, we talked about Cal, and they're just coming on the short end of the stick. Oklahoma might have had a trap game this morning where they overlooked their opponent in Long Beach State, and it cost them. They will not overlook Cal. You got to imagine this Sooners team is as locked in as ever.
Yeah, and I think it's really tough in these tournaments. I don't know if it's a sense of sometimes always overlooking, but the fact that a team, you're playing 5 or 6 teams a weekend. So every single night after 2 games, you're trying to then get the team together and watch film. And you don't have enough time to get into the weeds and scouting a team as you would on a normal conference weekend where you can watch every single arm. And it felt like Long Beach State used that to her advantage by throwing so many different arms, and Oklahoma was constantly trying to catch up and what do they best throw and how can we best attack them.
And it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So make no mistake, Oklahoma's last loss against a non-Power 4 team during the regular season, that was in March of 2024. It's not that far away. These things happen, and Coach Patty Gasso knows what it takes to pick up the pieces. And by the way, they won the national championship that year.
I was just going to say 2024. I'm pretty sure that was their 4th national championship in a row. So when used right, you can use a loss to really put a fire under your team's belly and let it ride for as long as it can.
These early season lessons, a chance to learn from it. And a stolen base for Ella Parker. We have seen her hustling just all day long.
Yeah, she's been so impressive. The little things is what we keep praising her on. We saw her hustling in the outfield, taking extra 60 feet, beating out a single in the infield. She's one of 3 leaders Coach Gasso says that she uses to talk through to the team. Ella Parker, Abby Dayton, and Cassidy Pickering are the ones that this team leads on.
Yeah, don't you think that Kendall Wells will eventually be that player? Wells at the plate right here, just a powerhouse player. And I think we just glazed over her 9th home run of the season because it was in the 7th inning as they were trying to mount a comeback. It was what looked like a 300-foot shot.
And it was done in such an aggressive way where she just stepped in the box and said, I'm owning this pitch. And I feel like she has that mindset when she's able to turn it on, you better look out. And to your point, I think she's a leader really for this team in the infield. I mean, being a catcher, you are in charge. You are everybody's eyes.
That's ball 2, and yeah, that's such a great point too. She's vocal and she's, you know, leading well beyond her years, and I think that that's something that Coach Patty Gasso recruits. Like, she wants players that are ready to step into those roles immediately. Swung on and missed. That's strike 3 as Waiters sets down Oklahoma's 3-hole hitter. There's one away.
This is the rise ball we've been waiting for. Waiter's best pitch, her bread and butter, when she can get it to break like this.
Lets it climb up the ladder. Kendall Wells, the always vicious freshman, swings under it. One down to bring up another tough freshman to handle. Alyssa Parker takes strike 1 at the knees.
Parker is somebody who has earned her start here today. She's been coming off the bench the first 3 games in this tournament, each time coming up with a hit. I really like Waiter starting to kind of sprinkle in this off-speed pitch. It's going to keep these Oklahoma hitters, have to be really honest.
Sent foul behind home plate for a 1-2 count, and you know, you talk about Oklahoma trying to turn things on. This is a player who has been on all weekend long. Came into today red hot and had just kept that rolling after a 2-for-3 day in the first game.
And I know we keep mentioning that she's a freshman, and so many of these Oklahoma players are, but this is still weekend number 3 for them. And I can promise you, your freshman year and weekend number 3, you're still learning, how do we get on and off the bus? What's the timing? When do we eat our meals? How do I put my laundry away so it's clean for the next day? And they're just handling it with so much maturity.
Grace from Waiters as well. She blows that by the bat of Parker, 2 down.
I'm so impressed with how Waiters is stepping up for her team. 2 big outs, 2 big strikeouts. Coach Singleton knew she needed a moment, came out to the mound, and whatever he told her, boy, did she listen.
2 away and 2 in scoring position for Nellie McEnroe-Marinas.
Somebody who's a sophomore can relate to these freshmen and being thrown into the fire right away, coming out the other side. She was the top 25 finalist for Freshman of the Year.
That gets down into left field. Sending 1 runner to the plate. Here comes a second. Got her! Ella Parker unable to get under the tag with the throw from the left fielder Lee. That'll close out the first frame. Oklahoma tags Cal for 1, but the final out of the inning made it home plate on a nice throw from the Cal outfield. We're back with Cal's starting lineup against Oklahoma. This lineup will now chase 1. Sid, what sticks out to you?
This is the team that has a really high average. They're going to put the ball in play, and it's going to be up to Oklahoma's defense, who is a bit shaky in game 1, to make sure that they are fielding the ball cleanly and not leaving any extra opportunities out there.
And in the circle for Oklahoma. Here comes Kirsten Deal. What do you know about her, Sid?
Yeah, she's somebody who I think everyone expected to really be the ace on this Sooners team. She's paid her dues throughout her years. Hasn't thrown a ton so far this season. I'm just wondering if she's been battling a little bit of health. But 3 innings pitched so far. Somebody who's had a wealth of experience. We've seen her shine in the Women's College World Series stage. And she's really a vocal leader in this pitching staff that understands how Oklahoma does things.
With 3 innings and 3 starts, we'll see how long she can go today. She'll face Kaylee Counts to get things underway in the bottom half of 1. Counts leads all Cal batters with a 375 clip coming into today.
Deal making sure she's got the right signs out there. Is Coach Singleton somebody who's familiar with Oklahoma from his time as an assistant coach at Texas. And what a hire this was for the Bears. And not to mention, he's also from California. He grew up just minutes away where campus is at Cal. So for him, this has just been a dream come true, a homecoming.
Trying to steer the Bears in the right direction. That got the arm of Kaylee Counts. She is on base safely as the leadoff runner. And Cal now trying to chase what should be a 1-0 lead.
The deal as the southpaw in the circle. I really love her lefty break because she's able to use that rise ball to get on the hands of the righty hitters. However, sometimes because she tends to have upspin and a little bit of spin that curves over, it can get right on those hands and hit some batters.
That's high for ball 1. Now at the plate, Carly Raven.
And Deal is somebody that when she can settle in, she said 70+ innings these last 2 years. 10+ wins as well.
Got the top half of the zone for a 1-1 count here to the 2-hole hitter.
And that's the level that she needs to continue to live at. Because when she can hit that spot, that's going to force Cal to have to make a decision if they're going to take the strike or try to go after that pitch.
In there for a called strike 2. Kirsten Deal trying to settle in. She rocks and fires. High and away. This is Raven in the 2 spot of the order. Just her 8th start of the season and her 9th game this year. Skipped
Even
inside.
in limited starts, Raven is somebody who's just shy of hitting 400. Does bring some pop in her bat. She has 2 home runs of only the 10 that have been hit so far for Cal. So I like this decision from Coach Singleton to go with somebody who has a little bit more pop in her bat.
Now we see a payoff. Skied in the infield. Agbayani calls everybody off. There's 1 away.
Very good competitive pitch by Deal. And for Deal, it's going to just all be about settling in. This is a team that has seen her thrive on the biggest stage. They understand what she's capable of, but it's just pitching her game and working with Carly Keeney, who's been trying to get up to speed quickly on how to best serve these pitchers.
Now with Anaya Tojia at the plate, keep a close eye on Kendall Wells, who continues to pop up from behind the dish. I think she's ready to use that arm of hers.
I really like this take, even watching how she's set up.
Tojia sends this one, a blue shot into right field. It gets down in front of Ella Parker for a single. So 2 aboard for Cal here in the bottom half of 1.
You have to be really strong if you're too Gia. This is up and in her hands, and she's just able to muscle through a really tough rise ball, find some green space, but not due to the lack of effort by Parker out in right field.
Kendall Todd nearly leans into one. She'll take a ball just up. Todd with 3 home runs this season. That's a team high. Todd runs into one. That gets down for a base hit. They don't test the arm of Ella Parker, but the bases are now loaded for Cal.
Look at Todd's reaction. I love it. Saying, give me the money. Right now, she's feeling hot. So is this Cal team, who is taking advantage of Deal, who's just not been consistent in her spin and hitting her levels. They're kind of just catching a break, too, finding no man's land right there in shallow right field.
So now with the bases loaded, Patty Gasso has a chance to chat with her pitcher once more. And that also leaves Cal a chance to get on the same page.
I think that's one thing when we chatted with Coach Gasso coming into this weekend. She felt really confident in her hitters. It was pitchers. She said, I'm anxious to see them show the country the good bullpens that I have seen from them. But it's just been about able to transfer those good quality bullpens and live pitching into games. That's been just the little disconnect that they're still trying to work through.
Well, we'll see if they can translate here. The bottom half of 1. This is Anya German. Snuck in on the inside corner for strike 1 called.
And this is a Cal team that's just continuing to learn themselves quickly and what's possible. They had 7 out of 9 starters go to the portal at the end of last season. So this is a new group finding their identity.
Oh, and that curls to the outside edge, just tickling the zone.
What a good strike there. I love how Max is using tickling after Coach Glasgow's interview early, but this is a good time to use it, as Deal has settled in after talking to Carly Keeney.
0-2. That ball climbed into the attic.
Whew. What a great job by Wells. I mean, you have to be such an athlete to go from the catcher's stance to getting vertical with a good jump. That saves a run potentially.
Got to use plyometrics there to get up like that. And a ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. That is in there for a called strike 3. Nice spot for Kirsten Deal.
Stone cold to be able to rise to the occasion in a big moment with this. Bases loaded, paints the corner, and surprised quite a few people.
Shocker for Anya German. Now Gator Robinson to the plate. Taken inside at the letters for ball 1. I'd say this is about the coolest name a player can have.
I mean, if your name's Gator, you have to be a good hitter.
Yeah, about ready to chomp. Bases juiced. Robinson lays off ball 2.
The Deal kind of went away from her rise ball that she was throwing early on in this game. You're seeing her work a lot more backdoor curveball, trying to find something that's around the strike zone level.
2-0. Just got the zone.
And the umpire is giving you that corner. Keep pounding it. That's a really tough pitch for any righties to hit for Cal.
Two-one offered. Lifted into center, but playable. And the catch made by Kai Miner. Cal loads the bases. Mary Nutter would like to thank all of their vendors and sponsors for 2026. The Easton Ghost Unlimited is now available. Get a sneak peek at the brand new unreleased Rawlings Halo bet. You won't want to miss it. Every time Oklahoma plays, there is a full house on hand to see the show. The Sooners lead 1-0. Headed to the top half of the second frame. She's Sydney Suplee. I'm Max Kelton. We've already seen quite the showing today. Long Beach State with the upset over Oklahoma. And now the Sooners ready to bounce back. They take on Tamia Waiters for the second inning. Here comes Kai Minor.
Not want to be able to watch a team that a lot of people think could go for their 5th national championship in the last 6 years. As we finally saw a different winner last year within Texas. And the assistant coach of the year is now head coach of Cal, who's looking to give Oklahoma as much of a fight as he did with his Texas Longhorns last year.
The last time Cal was in the field, it was a base hit to score 1 run, but quite the throw from Kayla Lee to home plate to end the inning.
And somebody who I'm really excited to see move up in the lineup in this game has been Kai Minor. And the performance she put on really this entire weekend. The first-year player hitting .500. We've seen her in center field at some points.
She slaps it into right for a leadoff single.
And she's somebody who Coach Gasso says is the true triple threat type of hitter. We saw her stand in and rip a single there, but we've seen her with speed. We've seen her be able to bunt. She's somebody who's going to be a threat throughout her entire college career.
Talk about a 5-tooled player. Saw that arm earlier today as well. She's got a cannon. Ripped foul. This is Lexi McDaniel.
Patty Gasso rewards the hitters who come off the bench and they get their job done when their number is called, and that's exactly what McDaniels did earlier today.
Had a pinch hit double, sent behind home plate, and out of play foul.
Marshall behind the dish, just practicing catching it if it were to drop. But right now, Waiter's doing a really nice job working her rise ball. That Oklahoma is just underneath it. Haven't found a way to get that barrel on the top half of the ball, which is hard to do with how much it's breaking.
Bats through on the left-hand side. Back-to-back singles for Oklahoma in the second frame as McDaniel keeps it rolling.
See, I like Waiter's idea. She went from a rise ball to an off speed, but this one is just too elevated. This is a gift to Oklahoma's hitters.
And now Ilana Agbayani ready to go to face Tamia Waiters. For Waiters in the circle, this is just her second start of the season. And Oklahoma, you can see, trying to be aggressive. This is an opportunity for the Sooners to take what's theirs on the base path and try and catch Cal off guard a little bit. Nobody away, runners on first and second. You have some breathing room.
And that's what I like about just trying to show a little bit small ball. When Oklahoma's at its best, yes, they're known for their home runs, but even right now, just doing situational hitting, passing the bat, getting that momentum going, because then that's when the home runs are going to continue to come.
Reel in and get back to the fundamentals. I like that from Coach Patty Gasso. That's the way to respond.
And it's just taking pressure off your team if you could start to pile up 1 or 2 runs every single inning.
In the air behind home plate and cut.
A rise ball pitcher special. A rise ball pitcher's dream is when they see a hitter bunting, because they said, I'm going to spin that thing right at your barrel.
Yep.
And if your top hand's not strong enough, it's so easy to pop those up.
They put
My
that.
number one job as a rise ball pitcher in college would be to throw bunting BP to my team, because it's just so hard as a bunter to try to get on top of a rise ball.
And you just put it in the zone. You don't try and do too much there. It's such an easy way to earn it out, and I guess a smart way too.
And you saw a little bit of motion in the box there by Dayton. You saw her shuffle at the last second, want to get to the front of the box. Somebody with a lot of speed when she can put the ball in play.
Dayton into right field. This carries foul.
Coach Gasso calls her the fireball on the team. She comes in and out of the lineup and just brings so much spark. Last year, still 12 bases, so somebody who, if you can get running.
Chop to the left-hand side to get the lead runner. They get Kai Minor at third. It's a heads-up play there from Gator Robinson, the shortstop.
Oh, this is a beauty. Go get the short hop, the best way to field it, and then go backhand flip it to Ray at third base.
And make it look
That
easy
is
in the
so
process.
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that only happens when you're actively thinking about, where am I going to go if the ball's hit to me?
Now Robinson gets the lead runner. Should be runners on first and second now. 2 away. And a 1-0 count to the top of the order. Cassidy Pickering, who singled and scored. In there for a called strike.
Waiter's just doing such a nice job trying to work to weak contact for these Sooners, allowing her defense to work behind her.
Slap to second base and in time for the final out of the inning. Oklahoma gets 2 aboard, but nothing to show for it as Waiters stands tall for Cal. DeMarini has new and unreleased bets now available. Check them out at your nearest dealer or at any of the stands here, might I add. There are so many different cool softball vendors. The Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, Big League Dreams here in Cathedral City, and Cal in Oklahoma fighting at USA Softball's Wrigley Field. It's the Sooners by 1. Back in the circle, Kirsten Deal, who was able to quiet down the Cal Bats after they loaded the bases just an inning ago.
The biggest difference you saw from the start of the inning, Deal wasn't able to hit her rise ball levels. Coach Gasso and Coach Keeney came to talk to her, and you saw her start to utilize that curveball more. That was just hitting a strike level, and that Cal's hitters weren't able to put in play at a hard level.
Well, at times, Oklahoma has looked like Oklahoma this weekend. They run-ruled San Diego State, a 12-2 final, and then they beat Duke 11-1. That was a run rule, and it was capped off by a grand slam walk-off to cap that run rule. This is nubbed back up the middle. Not in time. Alyssa Parker charged, gloved, and threw. but the speed from Maddie Ray beat it down the line. And, you know, Sid, you look at this.
This is such a good...
Yeah, go ahead.
Good job by Ray being able to hustle immediately out of the box. As soon as that ball got past Deal in the circle, you knew it was going to be a really hard play for the infield to try to make.
You know, moreover, though, we talked about Oklahoma when they've looked like themselves. There are also moments this weekend where they haven't as much looked like Oklahoma. You remember that first day, the game against Cal State Fullerton, they trailed in the 9th inning, and that could have been the walk-off moment that we saw earlier today. Those were both Big West teams. Fullerton ultimately fell to Oklahoma by just 1 run as the Sooners would escape. But this is the defense for the Sooners who try and quiet the noise, you know?
To your point, Max, I mean, this is a championship defense all the way around the field. You have veterans on the corners, and I should say in the outfield, and then you have a freshman starting off in center field. What we have seen by K Minor this weekend has been so impressive. But when you're Oklahoma and when you get that opportunity to wear those letters across your chest, it comes with a price. And that is something, in talking to so many of their alumni and current players, it is a big pressure that they wear every single game. When a team is playing them, it is their Super Bowl. They are circling that game on their schedule, and they are giving Oklahoma their best game every single time. And I think for a lot of these underclassmen, they're learning how to manage that for Oklahoma. This is a team that's going to be really good. Last year when Coach Gasso said, I felt like I had a bit of an empty cupboard. It was new leadership, new players stepping up. They still finished 4th in the country. And they're only getting better. And this is a team that's going to learn quickly, but they just have to take so much pressure off themselves because right now it feels like they're pressing.
Well, that was a strike, but the runner advances to second and Maddie Ray. So it's a 1-2 count to the bottom of the order. Kayla Lee, she reached for it, tried to get the bat on the ball. But Ray took advantage.
And that's what these teams are going to do. I mean, it used to be you can give Oklahoma an inch or they'll take a mile, but right now the script is flipped where it feels like any extra opportunities Oklahoma giving these teams, the longer they let them stay in the game.
That got down in the Bermuda Triangle. The ball kicks away, and maybe that was where the throw was meant to be. But Kayla Lee is safe with a bloop single, and now Cal has runners at the corners and just 1 down.
Yeah, Cal has just been able to find every inch of open space within this green. And if a ball is dropping in dirt, the rule of thumb is it needs to be caught. And it just felt like a bit of a weird spin. You could tell Parker at shortstop and Dayton in left field, they just weren't in the right positioning. And Coach Gasso, yet another team meeting, talking to the infield.
Now, we've seen quite a lot of Coach Gasso today. Often she's residing in the dugout or near third base, quietly watching and observing. I think she has had to steer her team more so than not today.
And she's somebody who just expects excellence. And it's not just somebody who's out there to rack up the wins, but she wants her teams to do the little things right. And I think that's where her frustration is coming right now. There's a lot of pride defensively from the Sooners teams. I think about some of the great outfielders that have come out of our game have been from Oklahoma. You think about Jada Coleman and just how she took it personally to never let a ball drop in front of her. And she wants that hunger and that aggressiveness from her team right now.
Well, here's the first pitch to the top of the order. Kaylee Counts, who takes ball 1 away. You know, and one more thing that I want to mention is one of my favorite moments of our coaches' calls this week came from our call with Coach Patty Gasso. And she was just saying how she wants her team to know who they are and remember who they are. When they get down on themselves, they just got to remember the standard is Oklahoma, just be you. Right now, it would be an opportunity for them to take a step back and recognize, just be yourself, you don't have to do too much.
It's hard to do so when you have a dugout who is erupting next to you. I mean, Cal right now feels like they're right there, and they are. But I completely agree with you. These Oklahoma hitters and this Oklahoma team, everybody on the roster has a reason to step on the field confident in who they are and the work they've done to get here. And they just need to bring back that self-confidence. But Cal is keeping it loud and making it really hard for them to do so.
Slapped into right field for a base hit to tie the ball game. The ball kicks away, but not far enough to score another run. Kayla Lee parks the brakes at third. Kaylee counts up to second base. And in to score, Maddie Ray. We are level. And Sid, I think the moment it felt like, despite Oklahoma having a 1-0 lead, Cal had momentum.
Counts, are you kidding me? She's going to send this one into right field. That pitch was so far out of the zone. She finds a way to poke it through. Really talented hitting. And then watch her right here. Takes extra 60 feet when she realized the ball is being bobbled and thrown around. And she's going to get her dugout fired up. This is a team that knew Oklahoma was a little down, and they are pouncing on them early. Well, the Sooners are still trying to catch their footing.
When you got a jungle cat, you got to bounce on it after it's been bitten. And right now, Oklahoma is down. They've got to pick themselves up. It's a 1-1 ball game. Runners in scoring position for Cal. Just one out.
Max, I have never heard that analogy before, but I loved it. I loved it. For Cal right now, to your point and what you were saying, is this is an incredible gift and an opportunity, and you don't want to come away with just one run in this game. You feel like Oklahoma is just on their heels a bit, and this is when you have to make it count. You're in your two-hole hitter. You're at the heart of your lineup.
Carly Raven. Raven sends it deep and foul to the right of the foul pole out there, but boy, you can just feel this place ready to erupt.
They're doing such a nice job right now, just getting on time to deal. She's working east to west with that lefty curveball, and they're getting their barrel in play nice and early, so they're able to extend through the ball.
That's through for a base hit. 1 run scores, and that's all, but it's enough for Cal to take the lead.
This is a team who, coming into this season, they reloaded by bringing in 10 transfers, 5 freshmen, a new head coach, but a whole lot of spark. And they are pouring on the pressure to the Sooners. And they're just passing the bat, right, Max? Nothing too flashy. You're not seeing a big, deep home run swing, but it's just a single and let's run well.
Another chat with Coach Patty Gasso. You wonder what's being
like
said. Yeah, go ahead, Sid.
It just feels like she's pleading right now for somebody to step up on her team. Like, this is a team full of a lot of successful players, and she wants to know who's going to take charge.
Will it be Miley Wachenio for Oklahoma after Cal took the lead just a moment ago? Don't go anywhere. We've got a good one at Mary Nutter. Cal in the lead over Oklahoma here. Number 4 Oklahoma already suffered 1 loss today, but now on the ropes against the Golden Bears as the Sooners turn to Miley Wachenio now in the circle after Kirsten Deal saw her day come to a close. Uchenyo with a 2.44 ERA. This will be her 7th, check that, 8th appearance of the season.
We've seen her come in a few different kind of saving roles so far this tournament, and she's done a really nice job. It felt like she got into the game earlier today. It just, when it was too far gone, and what I really like about her is she commands the zone well. If she can work that rise ball and hit that level, I think it's going to neutralize the power we're seeing from Cal and just being able to sprinkle base hits.
That's grounded on the left side. On to second for one, on to first. It's an inning-ending double play. Sooners pick up the pieces of a broken inning. Cal strikes for 2, but the Sooners clean things up here. Want to get away? Take Southwest Airlines. What kind of plane is that? Check flight tracker here. We are right near the Palm Springs Airport, Cathedral City. At Cal.
Max, I think that was the jungle cat. It was just coming and flying in.
No free ads here. Cal on top of Oklahoma now through 2 frames. We're having fun at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Oklahoma is actually all business. They picked up the pieces after allowing 2 runs to come in. Once Miley Uchenyo got in, she induced a ground ball double play. That's the Oklahoma that we know and that we've seen throughout this season and many, many more.
And we're just getting all the good sights here at this tournament. Look at this great shot from our production crew.
This
is a tripped out plane. I love that. Only the best here.
Yeah.
The Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic.
From a jungle cat to a bald eagle on the Southwest Airline plane. Mary Nutter has everything.
Anything is possible. Big league dreams, that's what they call it.
Yep. That's a heck of a paint job. Right now, Ella Parker trying to figure things out here against Tamia Waiters, who started today, held Oklahoma in check to this point, but a couple of loud outs for the Sooners, no doubt.
For Waiters, this is the first time she's taking the field with a lead, and how sometimes you try to do too much, try to protect it. And I just wanted her to go out and attack exactly what she's been doing this first 2 innings, work her rise ball, keep the ball low in the zone, and not be afraid to challenge these Oklahoma hitters.
Now a 4-pitch walk for Ella Parker, who leads things off in the 3rd. Excuse me. Yeah, leads things off in the 3rd with a base runner. Yeah, there's no outs here, right?
Correct. Yep, exactly right there. And you could see even after that pitch, Waiters was just doing a few practice ones. Feels like she's just not clearing her hip, which as a rise ball pitcher can be really easy to close yourself off. Then you're not able to get through the pitch as much as you would like. That's a much better job on that last one.
And now Kendall Wells. When Wells connects, it skies the mountain. I mean, it climbs to elevation unseen by man. Like, it is unbelievable. She just has so much power.
Yeah, she looks like she's hitting BP off front toss when she's hitting off live pitching. Great save there by Marshall behind the dish. What I really like about Wells is how she uses her power. As she steps into the box, take a look at how deep she gets in her legs in her stance. That is where she's able to rocket the ball as far as she is. She's going to use that back leg power.
Two. Oh, the soft touch to sit her down looking. That's a dirty pitch from Tamia Waiters.
Filthy. You don't go into it the entire at-bat, and then you come in for the surprise ending. So good. She throws a flip changeup, which is really rare at the college level, and the only way she's able to do it with is how violent she snaps her wrist to be able to drop it in there.
Just skated in, gliding to the top half of the zone, and a really nice placement for it too, high and away, as Alyssa Parker now at the plate. Parker puts the charge into this one.
And what she's doing really well is you look at these foul balls, they're long, they're gaudy, they're big. She's just treating them as I'm getting ahead of them in the count, and they're getting in front of the ball, so then I can go sprinkle that off speed or the pitch on the outer side of the corner. She's not intimidated by the foul balls.
Into right field, did a long run made, but the catch from Todd, and there is 2 down in the third.
Great response here by Waiters after the first batter was walked. And right now it just feels like Oklahoma isn't getting their swings on their pitches like they normally do. They're so good at being able to extend through any pitch in the zone. And it just feels like they're in front of everything and they're hitting off the end of their bats.
Yeah, you look at this stadium, it is totally packed. No love lost here, and Oklahoma fans in the stands, they are not used to seeing this team trailing for much at all.
One thing about Oklahoma is they're always going to have a response at some point. So you just, as a fan, you're just waiting for them to erupt. And Waiters is doing a good job of just not allowing them to get too comfortable yet so far.
Now you weathered the storm until you got to look into the eye of the hurricane.
And I think right now with her rise ball, it's almost at times effectively wild out of the zone, as it's not just at a consistent height, so it's keeping the hitter guessing. And ultimately, she's going to have to be able to get it in just enough.
Fouled back. Full count here for Nelly McEnroe-Marinas.
And Coach Gasso loves seeing a packed house. I mean, this is why this tournament is so special, why the best of the best teams come back every single year. I mean, this is replicating a postseason atmosphere for these teams here in February.
Spot on. And did you see that sweatshirt that she had on? That is some sick merch, I tell you.
And you said they're selling Oklahoma merch here.
They sure are. They should be selling Cal merch. Speaking of, Cal is cruising. Flying to the bottom half of the third. Welcome you back here to the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Oklahoma trailing Cal 2-1. We move into the bottom half of 3. Back in the circle, Miley Wachenio for the Sooners. She took over just a half inning ago. Faced 1 and retired 2. Took just a couple of pitches to earn a 5-4-3 double play. Now she'll face the heart of the order. 4, 5, 6. It starts with Kendall Todd.
Yeah, so impressed with her poise and coming into this game and really taking leadership in matters within her own hand, getting her team out of trouble, but now an opportunity for the sophomore to settle in with nobody on.
Here's Wachenio. Nice spot on the outside.
Wachenio is somebody who came over from Ole Miss. Very high-level program. It just feels like she's being used more and more every weekend. Opening weekend only threw 1.1 innings pitch. Weekend number 2 threw about 7 innings. And already this weekend, she's had her 9th inning of work.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. Might be a reason why she's had so much success as of late. You know, we talked about how Coach Patty Gasso is looking for players to step up and want that responsibility. Craving that responsibility is so important.
As a pitcher, too, all the spotlight's on you. Who's going to want it and dominate it? And she's done such a great job. It's just waiting for her number to be called and then coming in and pounding the strike zone. But really just trusting her pitches through the zone. Everyone on the Sooner staff has really good pitches, but it just feels like some of them are nibbling, and she's the one who's being the aggressor.
Finding somebody who wants the rock in the moments that matter. That clutch gene. Well, bottom of the 3rd here. Still nobody away to the leadoff hitter. Kendall Todd in the 2-2 count. Miley Wachenio to the plate. Missed it high. Count runs full.
And she's somebody, too, who has just kind of a unique motion for our game. It allows her to get a lot of power from that back leg, stepped back, but it's also just a different type of pitcher that you have to time up. And as a hitter, sometimes you can get caught in watching the motion.
Sky to center. Back there goes Minor. She'll watch it fly. Kendall Todd, a solo shot. Cal leads 3-1.
Todd came in today leading the team in home runs. Make this one number 4 and probably her favorite one. Goes Oppo.
Wow, the Golden Bears of Cal. Right now up on number 4, Oklahoma. Playing with a little swagger.
I just love the team celebration. Yeah, swagger, passion. I mean, this is a team who's hungry. And led by Coach Singleton, they have an opportunity with so many new faces to rewrite what Cal softball is all about.
Anya German slaps this foul. And, you know, I think about how Oklahoma, for 4 straight seasons, was the dynasty, was the standard. And when you win at that kind of rate, how Patty Gasso has had that kind of success, there just becomes this large target on you.
And it shows everybody this is the standard that we're chasing. And to credit to Coach Gasso and her teams who created the blueprint. And people like Kristen Deal were a part of that 2023-24 national championship. But Wachenio is the one who's come in so far and just been able to respond there to a big home run hit. I mean, that's a really nice strikeout. Coach Gasso, she's somebody who believes it's a marathon, not a sprint. Each one of her championship teams look differently leading up to the moment they won it.
That's back there. Oh my goodness, the Golden Bears. It's a barrage. Gator Robinson climbs the wall, a solo home run.
Hitting is contagious, especially when it's the long ball. Coming into today, this group had 10 home runs. They weren't known as a home run hitting team, but they are changing that narrative. You supply the power, they'll barrel it up.
Wow.
Celebration might have been even better than the home run.
Gator Robinson, just 2 batters after Kendall Todd blasted her own. It's the second home run of the inning. And where do the Sooners go?
I think that's what Coach Gasso is trying to figure out. What pitcher do I need to put on the mound right now? Who's going to be able to lead? The Sooners, the 2026 identity has been hitting, especially when they're leading the nation with close to 50 home runs, but it's just come down to a pitcher is still waiting to step up for them and really take charge in this situation. And Coach Gasso is not afraid to go through the whole bullpen until that happens. And credit to Coach Singleton and his staff. My goodness, bright things are on the horizon for this Cal team.
Let's take a quick break as Cal continues to pile on. We'll see a new pitcher for back in the circle. We have a new pitcher for Oklahoma. Here's Sydney Berzone.
We saw Berzone earlier today. She was the starter in game 1 for the Sooners, but wasn't really able to get into a groove. She's somebody, though, who in 2025 was one of the toughest arms to hit in the country. The transfer from LSU was expecting big things here for Oklahoma uniform. And it's just going to take her to get back to that confidence, because when she can spin it, her drop ball is on another level.
The 2-time All-American who started last year with LSU, 13-0. It was the best start to the season for a Tiger in program history. Now with the Sooners, Berzone ready to go to face Cal, and she's got some room to work with. It's a 4-1 ball game. Cal in the lead over number 4 Oklahoma. So the question is, can she reel things in?
I mean, her resume, everybody knows how good she can be when she's pitching her best.
Adds into the glove of Agbayani on the fly. There's 2 down as Maddie Ray lines out.
That's a well-struck ball. Pitch was a bit elevated in the zone, but a really good job defensively.
Now Natalie Marshall takes ball 1 high.
Earlier today, Berzon went 2.1 innings pitched, gave up 2 earned runs. But this game could be hers if she's able to take control for her team.
That's the close of the inning. This one is all Cal, the Golden Bears, right now kings of the jungle. We welcome you back here to the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, joined by Cal head coach Steve Singleton. Coach Singleton, what a start for Cal. What was the message to this team heading into today's action with Oklahoma?
A great group. They play really hard and they work really hard. So I think, giving them the freedom to go be aggressive, go make mistakes, but go after it.
Coach Singleton, when we talked earlier this season, you said it's about the gold standard in rewriting what is Cal softball. What have you seen from your team so far and what that means?
I think you've seen some of that determination. That's that last letter, that D. They've been really determined. It's been, a week that hasn't necessarily gone our way in all facets, but that hasn't slowed them down. They're still coming out to compete and show everybody what they've got.
That's Cal head coach Steve Singleton. Thanks so much for your time, Coach.
All right, thank you. Go Bears.
Apologies for any technical difficulties there as we got Coach Steve Singleton on the broadcast. We're back here, 4th frame. And how about this? It's Cal with a 4-1 lead against number 4 Oklahoma. Kai Miner will lead things off for the Sooners, and Patty Gasso trying to figure a way to get this Sooner team to remember its identity.
And I really liked what Coach Singleton said about, in the gold standard, the D is for determination. And when you look at this group, they came out, they won against UC San Diego, and then they dropped to Fresno State and Nevada. But so far, their response has been everything and how they have handled the challenges of this Oklahoma team so far.
That was a pretty good start for Tamia Waiters to weather this storm. Oklahoma had 2 aboard in both the first and second inning, but even with her back to the wall, she was able to take care of business.
And it's just a different way right now that they're handling Oklahoma. When we look back at the Long Beach State game, it took multiple arms to keep Oklahoma off balance. And so far, Waiters has been able to do that all herself and just doing a nice job at changing eye levels.
Sky to center, 1 down.
I love that off speed by Waiters against Miner, who's been hitting so well. The first year was hitting over 500 before that at bat. But an off speed that's too good, catches her out on her front leg.
Kai Miner with a fly out to open up the 4th frame. Here's Lexi McDaniel. Jumps on the first pitch she sees. Way up there into the clouds. Catch made for out number 2.
When Oklahoma was having success offensively early on in this game, they were just passing the bat. They were okay with the singles, trying to piece them together, but right now everybody is trying to be a hero. Their swings are getting too long, and that's what's causing them to just hit the fly balls that aren't going anywhere.
That's taken high for ball 1 to Ilana Agbayani.
The BYU transfer has just been unbelievable at second base.
Well, she's a vacuum. She is really impressed with her defense this weekend.
she creates a little bit of pop in her bat here at the bottom of the order.
2-0. And Agbayani, who is known for her defense, you look at that 2025 Rawlings Gold Glove honor at second base, and all SEC defensive team pick. So the awards have come in and people have recognized that's a big reason why she continues to get the nod as an everyday starter. Sid, make no mistake, the bat is incredible as well. To be totally fair to Agbayani, she's a .462 hitter coming into the afternoon.
2 long balls, 9 RBIs, and draws the walk when she needs to. Honestly, that's the spark that this team needs, and you love to hear the dugout celebrate it. Just to keep them alive, allow them to see more pitches, because the more pitches Oklahoma sees, good things always tend to happen.
And often Oklahoma has, much more to get excited about, and I think one of the things to notice is it's tough for dugouts to get into the game if there's not enough to cheer about. Sometimes you have to remind yourself when you're batting to cheer for your teammates.
Yeah, so often, a lot of these athletes can be absorbed in their own thoughts, but being able to be so external and stay connected as a group is very important.
Present and poised, Abby Dayton snares this foul.
And you can tell right now, being at the 9-hole hitter for the Sooners with Dayton, the infield is playing very tight for Cal. They want to try to go make a play, keep the ball in front of them, and try to get an out at first or second base before turning over the order for the Sooners.
But make no mistake, her numbers don't represent a 9-hole hitter. She hits .474 on the season. Dayton, that's through on the right-hand side as it hugs the line fair. Cascades into Todd in right field. And they'll hold up at the corners.
That felt like just the right break that the Sooners needed. This ball just escapes past the outstretched glove of German at first base, who felt like she got a little tip of it. And that's what happens when the defense is playing really tight, which I understood why they did so with the speed against Dayton, but also it's kind of that, double-edged swords where there's 2 outs and they could have been playing a little bit further back.
And now, with runners on first and third, Cal will have to face the top of the order for Oklahoma. And from this point in the order, there's just nowhere to go. Cassidy Pickering, Ella Parker, Kendall Wells, 1, 2, 3 for the Sooners.
Hitters that hit so well off of each other. Pickering and Barker feels like the 2 leaders of this offense. And you can tell, they're all smiles over there, chatting with Coach Gasso. This is a group that's keeping it light. While everyone else seems to be panicking, they're staying calm and collected. They understand the power that they have. Within 2 swings, they could change this ball game.
Some might not believe this, but on our coaches call with Coach Patty Gasso, she was light and lovely and goofy. She was joking around. I think that in a situation like this, sometimes you think that she might be stern, but she's got quite the personality.
Oh, Coach Gasso's an angel, and anyone who knows her would say that exact same thing. She's somebody who carries herself with so much grace and poise, and she is such a fun personality. She was wearing all pink, dressed all cute at the airport, but down to business now.
Ripped first base, it snuck through the twine. It got by, and Oklahoma has another run. That's Agbayani who comes in to score. Pickering with an RBI single.
Sooners just hit the ball so hard. And this one, able to pull it through. Pickering just sends a shot to German, who tried to take a knee, do anything she could to keep it in front.
And their first to third went Abby Dayton. Now the tying runner aboard in first base for Dayton. And at the plate, Ella Parker. Parker slaps this one over to German. Foot race to the bag, and the third time the charm for Anya German at the first base spot. Oklahoma takes Cal for one, but it's the Golden Bears in the lead. From grassroots to gold, USA Softball is where dreams begin, skills are sharpened, and futures are built. Visit usasoftball.com to learn how to get involved in the future of softball. Are you a top 12U or 14U player? Check out the www.usasoftball.com, the All-American Games tryout dates. Oh man, more seasoning. There is never too much. That kettle of corn is like gold around these parts, said Mary Nutter.
Oh, it's making me hungry just looking at it. Who wants this softball season like kettle corn, good concession stands? Mary Nutter has some of the best. And this atmosphere is just unbelievable. One of my favorite tournaments of the year.
Maybe you go behind Pawtucket and you'll see the kids playing jacks for the corn. Well, back here for the bottom half of four. Bottom of the order, Kayla Lee, followed by Kaylee Counts and Carly Raven 1-2.
And Lee did a really nice job turning over the order the first time we saw her, 1 for 1 on the day. But now she's going to be tasked with seeing a new pitcher. Berzon stepping into this game, trying to make it her own.
So a ball and 2 strikes for Berzon into Kayla Lee. Lee, who singled and scored earlier today, showed off the arm in center field. Now the pitch. Hacked at it and went around for strike 3, 1 down.
Berzon doing a nice job so far since she has come into this game and slowing down the momentum the Cal's bats are able to have.
And now Berzon will face the top of the order for the first time today. Kaylee Counts. Ball 1.
Look. It's one of those you just laugh off. As Berzon's doing.
Well, Counts at the plate has reached both times she's been up today. She was hit by a pitch in the first frame, then singled and drove home a run in the second. 1 for 1. Swung on and lifted to left field as it twists into the stands. Foul.
Even that just being such a well-struck ball. Where Berzon was getting in trouble earlier today was just leaving some of her pitches a little bit too middle. Want to see her really continue to try to paint these quarters against the hitters. Counts being one of the few hitters on this team that's returning from Cal since last year.
Nice backhanded stab by Parker. She got her at first.
And this is the clean inning that Oklahoma has been striving for all game long. Alyssa Parker stepping up, making a really difficult play. Deep in the hole, showing off her arm strength across the diamond.
There's a long throw with not a lot of time to make it. And, the transition there has to be quick. And Parker just shows off a textbook way to range right and fire.
That's what I love about this sport. For everyone who watches it, you could field the ball cleanly and still a runner could be safe. That's how fast our sport moves. And how perfect you have to almost be as an infielder. One bobble, and more than often, the runner is safe.
Carly Raven at the plate. Trying to tack on more for Cal. Maybe start a 2-out rally. Raven singled and drove one home in the second.
Raven, somebody who has just gotten better every single season at Cal. Has doubled her average. Last year was hitting 227. This year, high in the 400s.
Got a 0-2. Missed it low.
And that's what's been so cool to see the players who have stuck with Cal and have just flourished under this new leadership. Before this season, she didn't have a single home run. Now has multiple on the year.
That's below sea level. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Cal doesn't want to let Oklahoma get away with an easy 3-up, 3-down inning. Even a base runner just continue to apply a little bit of pressure throughout the game.
Berzon. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. The ball dipped below the bat. She got her to chase. Sooners chasing 2. But this helps quiet the Cal bats. Bonet is a proud partner with Mary Nutter. Check out bonet.net for product pricing and create your perfect training system. Oakley is all about recognizing the standout players who bring energy and excitement to softball. Our products are designed for those who respect the game's traditions while always looking ahead. Come see how Oakley is setting the standard in performance and style at www.oakley.com. Back underway here, Tamia Waiters in the circle for Cal. She has pieced together quite the showing against number 4 Oklahoma. 4 innings, 2 runs, only one of which earned, with 4 strikeouts, allowing 6 hits. As this ball is in the air, and in comes Counts to make the grab. One away.
And this has been her longest outing of the season. She's only went 3 innings pitched earlier this year against Santa Clara and against Stanford. So for her, just an opportunity to continue to show her team that I can keep showing different looks and stay in games longer.
That was Kendall Wells, by the way, who just flew out to center field. Now we see the cleanup hitter, Alyssa Parker, in the 4 spot.
Parker, one of 4 freshmen in this lineup. In a freshman class that Patty Gasso has been waiting for them to get to Oklahoma. So these are names that are going to go down in the Sooners records book. I can promise you that. And they're learning a lot of valuable lessons early.
Way up there as Counts camps under it for her second straight catch. 2 quick outs for Tamia Waiters.
Yeah, and it just feels like this Oklahoma team is just trying to do too much at the plate right now. And I know Coach Castro is searching for the right message to them, which he always delivers a good one. They're seeing the ball well. They're just not able to find the barrel. It feels like they're trying to hit the long balls, and that's what's causing them to hit the pop-ups, where this is a Sooner group that when they think about line drives or hard contact, they can hit the home runs better than anybody else in the country.
This pitch swung on, ripped the other way, and it gets down fair. Nellie McEnroe-Marinas slides into second base safely. A 2-out, 2-bagger.
This is a really great job hustling out of the box. She has a feeling that this one is going to find some open green, and it does exactly that. Todd does everything she can do to get to that ball as quickly as she can. She had to go down and get that kind of inside-out swing. But a little bit of 2-out magic here and some life for the Sooners.
This pitch misses low and away to Kai Miner in the 6th spot of the order. Miner 1 for 2. She singled back in the 2nd inning. The pitch. Waited on it, sent it in left field. It's a base hit. But they'll hold the runner there as McEnroe-Marinas waits up at third base. First and third coming up for Lexi McDaniel.
This is a really good job by Miner against an off-speed pitch. You saw her stay really patient in her legs and then just explode and try to get any power from it as she could. This is a group that just never gives up. And you can tell that Cal is not comfortable with their lead when they understand that at any point the Sooners can blast one over the fence. But I've liked this approach from the last 2 hitters and not trying to do it all themselves, but just find a way to get on base.
Find a way to have some fun with the game, too. It feels like you probably got the weight of the world on your shoulder if you're Oklahoma. And Cal, another team that's just, I think, playing with house money. But now you got the lead, the stress starts to build for Cal at this point.
And with the amount of time that this one has taken, you start to wonder, are they going to continue with Waiters? And it looks like they have, which I love. And I think for Coach Singleton, he's probably just letting her take a moment. How are we going to attack McDaniels? Was let this in get away from us, but also defensively, how are we going to play right now with 2 outs?
McDaniel takes strike 1 that snaps to the outside corner.
Really intentional how Waiters has used her off-speed pitch. And when she does, she's been able to locate it well.
Ball 1.
My favorite thing about 2 off-speeds in a row is when everyone in the ballpark starts thinking, will they do it a 3rd time?
Well, McDaniel represents the leading run for Oklahoma. Jumped on that fastball. Well fouled.
And Waiters has done such a nice job at throwing that pitch inside enough against Oklahoma's hitters, who the only way for them to hit it is foul. If that ball is half a ball more on the plate, she crushes that into left field.
Just off the corner. Ball 2.
I love this sequencing right there.
Oh, what a throw! They got her at second. Kai Miner cut down to the base path to close out the 5th frame.
at doing the little things, and that starts with the man in charge. Coach Singleton was 2024 Assistant Coach of the Year, won a national championship with Texas in 2025, and he said if there was any job I was leaving for, that was coming home and coaching Cal.
The homecoming has been money, at least today, no doubt. Here's Anaya Togia to lead things off. Grounded on the left-hand side and bobbled. More defensive mishaps for Oklahoma as the leadoff runner is aboard for Cal.
We've seen a few different shortstop for the Sooners. We saw Baker earlier today. This time Baker is back in, and that's what's going to happen on this play. But it was on third baseman Marinas. So we take another look at it.
Nelly McEnroe Marinas just couldn't handle it. In there for a called strike now to Kendall Todd. And Todd with a solo shot, 2 innings back. She is 2 for 2 today.
But that is interesting, Max. We saw another defensive switch. It went from Parker to Baker now at shortstop.
And what do you chalk that up to, Sid?
I think Coach Gasso is just trying to find different combinations of who's going to step up and be what I need right now. You saw her go back to Berzon, who's done a nice job since she stepped up in the circle, and she continues to shift around her defense until she's satisfied with the way everyone's playing together.
Well, Sydney Barker over at shortstop is certainly a utility player. She can play just about anywhere in the infield. I'm sure she's got some experience in the grass in the outfield as well. That said, 1 out here, and Anya German to the plate. And, you know, that came after Alyssa Parker. Despite not being productive at the plate today, Parker was good in the field.
I agree.
Ground ball on the right
for a new
side.
bat too.
Yeah, well, with the step onto first, German grounds out, advances the runner. There's 2 down, now a runner on second base. And it should be a pinch runner at that. We're just trying to pick up the number. And it looks like that is Zumi Jules, the pinch runner at second base.
I mean, Zumi just sounds like she's going to be fast.
Took a quick jump off of the bag there, and she was off that first base bag in a hurry. See what she can do on the base path. Try and create some havoc and extend this Cal lead. Grounded foul.
You can tell that the infield's rather further back for Oklahoma. Trying to keep everything in front right now with 2 outs as they'll take a few steps back there. But what I really liked from Cal is they've just continued, it feels like every inning, to pour on some pressure, get base runners on, and never let Oklahoma get too comfortable. They've scored on every pitcher besides Berzon yet today.
Well, Gator Robinson blasted a solo home run back in the third. Now with a runner on second base, here's the 0-2. Fended off foul.
Berzon's having a lot of success against Cal hitters. They're really working on the outer half of the plate. Rather be lefty or righty. She's just neutralizing the power, not allowing Cal to put the ball in play.
Here comes the 2-strike pitch. Lifted foul again. That was a hot shot into the stands.
She's doing a nice job battling with 2 strikes right now. Coach Singleton loved to add to his lead.
It's sent behind home plate once more.
And he just has to be so proud of the way that his team has just showed up to fight.
Swing and a miss. Got her to chase for the final out of the 5th. Cal leaves a base runner in scoring position. Oklahoma chasing 2. PGF was founded in 2009 and today crowns the unquestioned national champions across 9 age divisions. Every year, just shy of 700 teams compete across those age groups, with the 17-day event held across parks in Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley, and Irvine, California. Premier Girls Fast Pitch is where the best of the best play in amateur fast pitch softball. Since 2009, thousands of female student athletes have realized their dreams to play on the college level by performing with top-level competition in front of college recruiters. PGF produces hundreds of tournaments and showcases each year across the country, including the PGF High School All-American Game, which is unanimously considered the highest individual honor in youth fast pitch softball. Premier Girls Fast Pitch, the future of the game is here. Hashtag play PGF. Well, Sydney Suplee and I are going to hit the mountain after this. We're skiing, and I know that she is a double black diamond kind of gal. Cal has skied into this 4-2 lead. And here with Oklahoma at the plate, quite the showing to this point, as that is grounded through on the right side for a base hit to lead things off in the 6th. The Sooners need a spark. Lexi McDaniel is that spark here in the top half of the 6th frame to lead things off.
And they can get that bottom half of the lineup rolling. That's exactly where they want to be before they bring up the big bat to Pickering Parker Wells. Again, Waiters, before this game, hasn't went more than 3 innings pitched all season long. She's doubling that right now, entering the 6th inning.
Ilana Agbayani at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded through the hole on the right-hand side. You know, and Sid, you were talking about the success at the bottom of the orders. We see Helton step on, a pinch runner now at second base. That is the 8th hit between 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just 2 hits for the top 4 in this order.
That's when you know you have a really strong lineup, when you can get momentum at any point of it. But right there, it felt like a little bit of a defensive miscue by Cal. It was a wide open 3-4 hole in that last one. Coach Singleton, for the most part, has had his defense in perfect positioning. But Oklahoma's starting to find a little bit of cracks on the right side.
Bunted foul, and you're right, you know, it felt like that hole was a little bigger than they intended.
Especially when, for the most part, if you were to look at a spray chart of where the Sooners are hitting the ball, it's on the right side. They have been in front of Waiters pitches all day today, pulling everything, especially these lefty hitters. I just don't love that placement.
Just outside, and you know, a great point you make. There are 6 lefties in the lineup for Oklahoma.
And so far, all of them have been ahead of Waiters.
That slap to the right-hand side. She was safe! She dodged the tag. She got there safely. Abby Dayton playing Matrix.
Oh, this is a first baseman's nightmare. I mean, it's the right decision to try to go and make the tag. A really good job here by side-swiping the tag and then hustling to first base. This is Oklahoma softball to a T.
He's saying the ball was out of her glove. Maybe we could see that again because it was quite the happening to load the bases with nobody away. Let's see that one more time.
And this is what it looks like to never give up on a play. And it doesn't look like the glove ever tags her.
Well, that, however, the second chance when the ball got to the bag did look pretty close. It might not have been the tag, but now you're looking at both sides of the play. Did she get tagged? Did she get there in time?
And it's hard because for us, we're able to watch the replay, but in this tournament, there isn't a replay. So the umpires are just making the best decision that they can on the fly. What an opportunity this would be for the Sooners. Bases loaded, back at the top.
Well, let's see if she was safer out at the bag. Oh. Yeah, if Tojia's foot is on the bag, I think that the ball got there first. But nonetheless, there is no replay review this weekend. It's a neutral site game here at Big League Dreams. And Cal will now have to pick up the pieces with the bases juiced. Oklahoma has the top of the order, Cassidy Pickering.
If you're waiters right now, you just need her to take a deep breath. She's very easily amped after that play where she felt like it should have went her team's way, but now she just has to trust her pitches.
Pickering watches the off-speed low.
And Pickering right now, she's getting the stop sign. I mean, this is your opportunity to take.
2 balls, no strikes. That's a strike at the knees. It just gets in there.
Yeah, that's a good job. I don't care how good of a hitter that you are, Pickering being one of the best. The odds just aren't in your favor, and that pitch to swing at it, but now still in another hitter's advantage situation. Oklahoma starting to chip away with plenty of opportunities on the board. No outs, bases loaded. And some of the scariest bats up to bat.
So Oklahoma walks it around. It should be 4-3 on the scoreboard. Cal by just 1. The bases remain loaded. And we're going to a break to step aside for this pitching change. Don't go anywhere. We have a really fun matchup at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. New pitcher in the circle for Cal. Taylor Peacock takes on over.
I think this is a really smart job by Coach Singleton. He's going to go to Peacock, who has had a lot of innings so far this season at 16. She's been very successful, only given up 5 earned runs, has a low ERA. The sophomore who transferred from San Jose State, where she played a very integral role for that group as a first-year pitcher.
Peacock takes over with the bases loaded and just a 1-run cushion against one of the most potent offenses in the country. And back-to-back players you don't want to mess with. Ella Parker will be up to the plate, the All-American.
Right now for Peacock, your job is to come in and throw strikes. And if she can find a way to continue to work within the strike zone and keep the ball down on the ground, continue to trust the defense behind her. They've been making plays for their pitchers all day long. You can tell they're back behind the bases.
It was 3 singles to open up the inning, and then a walk. There's nobody out. This ball eats up Tojia at second. We are tied at 4. Egbayani came in to score.
As a pitcher, you're doing exactly what your team asks you to do. Try to force a ground ball. But this is how hard Barker hits the ball. You see it rocket into the dirt. This infield is playing fast all weekend long, and that one just eats her up.
Now Kendall Wells. Wells without a hit in this ball game, 0 for 3, but you can't take the bat out of her hand. The pitch. Wells watches the off-speed skate in there.
Just a really nice job by Peacock so far. Coming in, pounding the zone. I like her use of off-speed.
Here's the pitch. Kendall Wells, who has just been on a monster tear coming into this ball game. Took one inside. She's got a team-high 9 home runs for the team that hits the most home runs in the country. And she has an opportunity to blow this thing wide open from trailing to a big lead if she can get a hold of one.
Also look at it as she's somebody who's been catching behind the plate all game with this umpiring crew. She's very aware of the zone, and that's a situation you love for a hitter to be in right now, where a walk means a run is scored and you take your first lead in the game.
The pitch. Wells watches a ball upstairs.
It looks like our score bug might have stumped us all on that one. She continues to stay in the box.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Wells at the plate, here comes Peacock. And it's another walk to drive home a run, as Oklahoma has now taken the lead, and Cal still cannot buy it out.
And the Sooners are fired up for this one. They have been scratching at the surface of a breakthrough inning. Now is their time to shine. And for Cal, this can feel like you're just watching it slip through your fingers, but right now, how can you try to stop the bleeding as quickly as you can? And you just have to work to get out.
A piece at a time and then let the bats pick you up. But right now, this is Sydney Barker. Barker sends it deep in the air to right, and it is just foul. It's her
Taylor
first.
Peacock to come in to this game. For her right now, she is just not only trying to learn the zone as quickly as she can, but get into a groove.
Barker, her first at bat of the ball game after coming in for Alyssa Parker. Not necessarily a pinch hitter. She came in as a defensive replacement an inning ago at shortstop. The pitch. Grounded to third. Play at home cleanly. They get the lead runner there for the first out of the frame.
Really nice job by Peacock, delivering a really tough pitch. And a good job by her infield and recollecting themselves and getting the most important out without allowing a run to score.
Heads up play by Maddie Ray, the third baseman. Yeah, go ahead, Sid.
Even just looking at more of Peacock's stats for this season, she hasn't given up a home run to an opponent since opening day.
Nelly McEnroe-Marinas sends it into right field, and it's caught on the fly. Runner coming to the plate. She is safe. The ball kicked away. Out of the glove of Marshall back there, who couldn't hang on. But it was a heck of a throw, I tell you that much.
This ball is lasered into right field. And Cal's outfield being exactly where you want to be, shallow enough where you feel like you could throw out the runner at home. And Todd does everything she can, throws on time, but it was on the slide, able to knock the ball out of Marshall's glove. This is a great job going in. Feet first, trying to kick it out.
High chopper left side. That'll score another for Oklahoma as Kai Minor drives one home.
Yeah, that's a heck of an effort by Robinson. She did about the only throw possible when she had to go back to get that one, try to make something happen at third base. This field allows hitters to chop the ball so high. Good job running by Wells there, staying tight to third base. This game feeling very different now than it did.
And a 5-run outburst is something fairly common for this Oklahoma offense. Came into this inning trailing 2, now leading 3.
McDaniel's been one of the hottest hitters in this game. She's gotten a lot of the rallies going for the Sooners. 2 for 3 on the day. But her first time facing Peacock.
Here's the pitch.
I love how Cal hasn't been afraid to challenge these Oklahoma hitters on the inside side of the plate.
Got to be aggressive with these hitters. Can't be passive on the mound. It's a difficult spot for Peacock. Bounced into the glove of the third baseman, and that'll do it as Maddie Ray goes across the diamond to close out the big inning for Oklahoma. The Sooners piece together 5. They recognize the zone, they run the bases, and they take the lead. Cal led for the entirety of this action up until the last half inning, where the Sooners explode for 5 runs. Number 4 Oklahoma then takes the lead 7-4. Sydney, now Cal to the plate. They've got to do what they have done through this first stretch today. Hit the ball and take the seams off of it.
That's exactly the message you have to send to your team. We found a way to score on them before, and Coach Singleton knows how to motivate his group. The biggest thing for them is they just have to learn how to do it against Sydney Bearzone, who's done a great job since coming into this mound. She's really utilized the downward spin on the outside corner. So I'd love to see these hitters start to toe the chalk and work to hit the ball opposite field.
Lexi McDaniel started at first. Now it looks like Isabella Emmerling takes over there. Emmerling, a natural catcher. She'll move over to first base here defensively. And at the plate, 7-8-9. It starts with Maddie Ray. This pitch hung foul.
Ray, we've seen have success at the plate earlier today. The junior has been the spark plug at the bottom part of this order, which when you look at 6 through 9, they've had 3 hits that have really turned over this order and allowed the top of the lineup to go to work.
And Ray 1 for 2 today. The pitch. That's in there for a called strike 2.
When Sydney Berzon can attack the zone, that ball just floats in there so nicely.
Another battle there for Maddie Ray. 261 hitter coming into this action. It's kicked up to 280 after going 1 for 2 today. She scored earlier. That was in the second inning. Now trying to get something going, chasing 3. Ripped foul.
I mean, this is just a group that feels like they never give up. Coach Singleton said it best, the gold standard, the DNA is for determined, and that's what he's seen from his team today. They're not going to go down without a fight, but also bright things ahead for this group. With this new team, new identity, and the renovation of their softball stadium, which coming.
It is quite the facility.
Stadium.
Oh, yeah. State of the art might be an understatement. 2-2. Bounce to Barker at short. 1 away.
This team has settled in so nicely for Berzon, who has really been the pitcher who stepped up for Patty Gasso today. She was willing to go through an entire bullpen. She said, I just want somebody who wants the ball. And Berzon has been the one who has delivered.
Berzon fires in strike 1 to Natalie Marshall. And we talked about the success that Cindy Berzon, the senior, had through her 3 seasons at LSU. She came in here, was just expected to click right off the bat in a new environment. And these players are also human. It sometimes takes time to adjust to the new digs. Marshall, a hot shot to third. That is handled cleanly by Nelly. 2 down.
And Coach Gasso was very transparent that these pitchers were pressing. But right now we're starting to see Berzon find the biggest groove she has found so far since she has been a Sooner. This has been her longest outing of the year. She hasn't went past 2.1 innings pitched. She's now in her 3rd inning. Hasn't given up an earned run.
Well, that's the first hit she's given up. And Kayla Lee beats it out on an infield single.
And there come those Cal teams. They've been so pesky with 2 outs all day long, finding a way to put just at least somebody on base and create a bit of pressure on the defense.
Top of the order here. Kayla counts. Kaylee counts better yet. Strike 1. Singled an RBI in the 2nd inning. Also hit by a pitch. That was to lead off in the 1st frame. On to short, and Barker wastes no time getting it over to first base to close out the inning. Oklahoma looks to tack on some more as we move into the 7th frame. Since 2011, USA Preps Camp. Athletes a direct path to be seen through elite competition and on-field instruction. Visit www.usapreps.com to see the full 2026 event schedule. And this is making me hungry. Luckily enough, our producer Jeff Sermon says he's buying tri-tip for both me and Sydney after this action. Joined by Sydney Suplee, I'm Max Kelton. Top half of 7. Oklahoma looks to tack on some more. Now in the circle for Cal, it's Maya McGowan. And Sid, you are quick to get to work. You want that tri-tip.
Oh, I'm sold. That was the best idea I've heard all day long.
Yeah, Jeff, thanks so much for buying. Ilana Agbayani at the plate here. She has put together quite the showing this weekend. A defensive powerhouse at second base, if you can call her that. But better yet, she has really provided a spark at the plate near the bottom of this order for Oklahoma. She sits in the 8th spot in search of her second hit of the afternoon and has now scored 2 of the 7 runs for Oklahoma in this ball game. The pitch. Chopped at and swung through for strike 1 to Agbayani.
Yeah, now we're seeing Maya McGowan, the freshman pitcher in the circle for Cal, who's went to a few different arms here to end the game. She's somebody who's gotten a ton of innings already as a first year.
Soft roller to second, 1 away.
She leads the team with 30 innings pitched, given up 21 earned runs, but what I've really liked about her is how much she's attacked the zone. She's not a huge strikeout pitcher, but she's somebody who does a really nice job at painting the corners and just letting her defense work behind her.
And Cal calls on McGowan for the first time this year out of the bullpen in a situation to try and hold Oklahoma at bay, with the Golden Bears due up in the bottom half of the 7th to try and chase 3 for the final opportunity.
They see big things from her as a first-year player, somebody who's going to continue to grow within her role.
Strike 1.
And she just gets a lot of power from her pitch. The hardest thrower on staff for the Golden Bears uses all of her long levers to her advantage.
1-1. Sent deep to center field. It twists around, counts out there. And the throw to second base doesn't get there in time. Abby Dayton leads things off with a double in the 7th frame.
Dayton now 2 for 3. Her ability to extend through this pitch up in the zone. Coach Gasso said she's the spark plug of this team, and you can see why. Not only because of her hits, but watch the way she explodes in excitement towards her dugout.
Well, she got things going. 1 away, top of the order, Cassidy Pickering.
Pickering moving up in the box before this pitch.
What does that tell you, Sid?
tells me a hitter's confidence, especially against somebody like McGowan, who's known more for her speed than she is her spin. It says that Pickering feels like she can get on time to it early.
And when Cassidy Pickering is on time, that ball really travels. She's got 5 home runs this season, .514 batting average. Strike 2.
Somebody Coach Gasso couldn't say enough about. Said wouldn't choose to lead, but she's contagious in the way that she works harder than anyone else on the team in such a quiet way that everybody just follows her naturally.
You know, she's one of those players, if every coach had a Cassidy Pickering, every team would be a national contender.
I couldn't agree more.
Here comes the payoff. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. McGowan sits down the top of the order for Oklahoma for out number 2.
Really nice job just painting an outside drop ball, letting that ball break off the table. It doesn't need a lot of movement because the speed she's throwing at is so quickly. Any little bit of late break just feels like it speeds up a hitter.
Now Ella Parker. And the pitch. Parker took it low. Now at second base, Abby Dayton. A one-out double for Dayton just a moment ago. Oklahoma would love to tack on some more. We know Cal can come alive at the plate.
That's a great job behind the dish. That's all the difference maker and making sure a runner doesn't get on third base. That's a huge stop.
Sophia Rowland back there now. Strike 1.
I love the chalk that came off the catcher's glove. I mean, she is just firing it in there.
McGowan, 3-1. Swung on way deep and foul to the right of the pole. That almost snuck over the pole and fair. Instead, it's a long swing for nothing. I mean, the count was already full. Parker jumped it. McGowan to the plate. And now ball 4.
McGowan trying to sprinkle in that off-speed pitch, which I really like the call. I just want to see her have even more confidence and work to find that timing. If she can tunnel her hard stuff with that off-speed pitch, that's going to be a really big difference maker in this game against Oklahoma. But right now, they're kind of just not even allowing that off-speed to be a competitive strike.
Kendall Wells, who takes strike 1. She walked in the tying run earlier today. It was just an inning ago. Wells runs into this one. Aired out behind second base. Gator Robinson catches it for the final out of the 7th. Cal's got 3 outs to spare, chasing 3. Bottom of the 7th frame coming up. Fans waving. Oh yeah, plenty of that Sooner red. They travel well, and Oklahoma has had quite the day. Ups and downs. They were upset earlier this morning. Long Beach State with the statement win. They pull off a 6-4 victory over number 4 Oklahoma. A slow start to this one, fall behind 4-1, and now have scored 6 unanswered with a 7-4 lead heading in to the bottom half of 7. Sydney Suplee, when you fall behind, you're down but not out. When a team can respond like this, what does that tell you about their character?
These are the days at the ball fields where you learn what type of team you have. These aren't fun days, but every coach will circle a day like this and say, this is the day where we grew and became the best version of ourselves. And that's what this Oklahoma team has just started to claw their way through. It's a yucky feeling. You know, everybody nationally is talking about your upset loss, but how they've been able to just kind of stick with it. They've finally caught their breath defensively, started to put together some clean innings, and then their bats have started to arrive. And that's what is the identity in this program, in this team.
First pitch into Carly Raven. Gone. Statement swing from Cal. This one ain't over. Hold the phone, Sid. The California Golden Bears have come to fight.
Oh, and watch her team embrace her. One swing of the bat. She goes down to get this pitch. As a lefty hitter, low and in might be the toughest barrel angle to go to, and she dominates. And sparking a little bit of belief, saying, hey, we're not out of this yet. And her dugout cannot wait to celebrate her. Hugs all around. This team is still in it.
Ball crept over the fence, and they are embracing every moment here. It starts with believing. You gotta imagine this Cal team believes. They were already up 4-1 against Oklahoma. Just gotta figure out Sydney Berzon, who gets a swing and a foul tip for strike 2 here for Anaya Togia.
And Berzon going to her off-speed pitch, but she's going to have to do more so, because I think right now California is just feeling really confident. And then they're going to get their swings a bit big, but she took advantage right there.
The strikeout for the first out of the bottom half of 7. Kendall Todd to the plate. She's already got a blast today. Berzon offers in. That's high and out.
And for Cal right now, they've been at their best when they could just find a way to poke through a few singles, string them together. How can they work these longer at-bats? Not let this moment get too big. You can just see the emotions riding high right now for Cal. This is when you have to calm your nerves, slow down your heart rate, and just go compete.
That's low for ball 2.
And Todd's played a heck of a game so far today. Not only just in right field, but at the plate. 2 for 3. One of her best games of the season. She's had heightened focus.
Roped foul at the third base line. Got a 2-ball, 2-strike count for Kendall Todd after Sydney Berzon just a moment ago gave up her first run of the day in the midst of her longest outing of the season to this point. 4 innings, 2 hits, just 1 earned run. She made it through 3 innings perfect. Now she'll face, this is Kendall Todd at the plate. Todd leaned into it and took it like a champ.
I think leaned into it might have been the perfect word that you used, Max. She definitely wasn't shy about wanting to find her way on base. That does sting quite a bit, though, without an Evo shield, so she's gritty for that. But I think she saw it as an opportunity to help out her team, and she took full advantage.
That was on the cap of the elbow, I tell you.
I mean, these day and age, you don't see a lot of hitters not wearing Evo shield. I wouldn't have been one of them. I strapped that thing up, covered up the elbow every time. And I think right now, that's what the umpires are discussing. Did she lean into it or not?
Now the blue on the left-hand side, it was a ball, and he said, I can read some lips. He said that was not a strike. Looks like they have a decision here. And they're going to call her back.
And after watching this replay, I can see why the umpires decided that. Todd's definitely goes down to get it. And watch Coach Gasso. She does not agree with the call. Well, she agrees with this call, but not the original call. And I don't blame Coach Singleton. You got to fight for your players.
Coach Steve Singleton, first year with the program. You know, I find part of the art of being a head coach is talking to these umpires, pleading your case the right way and recognizing what gets through to them. They just threw Steve Singleton out of the game.
And Max, I thought this might be coming. It felt like the umpire was writing him a warning, and Coach Singleton continued to have a conversation trying to defend his player, and his day is ending early before the game ended.
Felt like a pretty cordial conversation from what I saw. But of course,
yeah,
we can't hear
it. Does. The words could be different, but definitely his demeanor, he didn't seem overly excited. Again, we don't know the words that he is saying. But as a head coach, it's your job to go at bat for the players. However, you hate to see him get thrown out of the game at this point, especially when his team is still in the fight.
Now getting his money's worth, no doubt about it. And at this point, you know, I would see it as an opportunity for these players to know that he's going to fight for them when a call goes against him.
Cal also has a game later today, so you wonder if that's going to affect Coach Singleton for that game as well. After this game, or excuse me, they're done for today, and then they face Auburn and Nebraska tomorrow. But this is definitely taking some time. And I'm just wondering right now, is Berzone pitching? Is she throwing right now? This has been a good few minutes since she hasn't thrown a pitch.
And use this time strategically if you're Cal, I guess.
Looks like they're making sure that he finds his way out to left field.
Gotta usher him out slowly. And I think when you're thrown out of a game, you got to leave the ballpark from what I understand. But here at Mary Nutter, there's not really anywhere to go.
I guess wait on the team bus would be my best guess.
Well, that keeps Kendall Todd at the plate. And what kind of count do we have here?
And this is the pitch that got Coach Singleton thrown out of the game, trying to defend his hitter, Todd, saying there was no way she leans into it, but umpiring crew bringing her back. Well, Cal's dugout's alive. I can tell you that. You could hear them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And what
They're
more?
fired up.
What more coaching decisions do they need? You got to come back and win. Simple as that. Kendall Todd sends a charge into center field, but the catch made for out number 2. Kai Minor there.
It's a well-barreled ball, just a little bit underneath it. Right now, California doesn't need home run swings. They need to just find a way to hit the ball down and hard.
Anya German with Cal down to its final out. Sydney Berzon in the circle to try and close this thing out and earn the win in the process. The pitch. German right back up the middle. Tough play to make. Barker got her to close out the ball game. Oklahoma comes from behind after a 5-run outburst in the 6th and beats Cal here at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic.
Oklahoma got better as the game continued. Their defense on this play, probably their best play of the day. They saved it for the end. We saw them really get down and get tough and stick with it until their bats could finally find a way to go through. But a credit to Cal in giving them almost everything they could handle. But this was the breakout game the Sooners were looking for. Sid Berzon, her best performance yet here in 2026.
Saved the best for last, and Oklahoma comes out victorious. We've had a lot of fun today. Sydney Suplee and Max Kelton here on Wrigley Field at USC Softball. More to come. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, it's Fresno State and number 14 UCLA on Flow Sports.